It's the Afterglow, and I know you loved your fellow Oregon Duck. How about that? Funny bone, backbone, wishbone. I am stealing that. I got he didn't mean to do this, but this was like a TED Talk on parenting, as well as like the Nick Aliotti experience. What'd you think?
1,000% the Nick Aliotti experience. No, I love that at the end. I love those. I've never heard him say that. That was so fun. And yes, because of Oregon, but obviously working with Coach for the last few years at Pac-12, and then I've actually known his family for a really long time. So just kind of hearing him chat about all that was really fun. And also, like, we can't just pass up the Yogi Roth all-star shout out that he was giving you. I was like, I know that you don't really like stuff like that, but I was loving it back here. That was absolutely fantastic. And for the record, well-deserved. Absolutely
Well,
well-deserved.
thank you. I'll tell you what, as the interview was going, I was like, God, I had so many other questions that I wanted to talk about, like Beppe and Gianni's,
Yep.
right? I wanted to talk about the times on the road with our colleagues. I wanted him to wax upon his thoughts on the quarterback situation at so many of these schools. He is a rock star. I do hope that, and I'm confident that somebody's going to pick him up for next season. He's just a savant.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he sees the game, the way he articulates it, he's got such a fun, loving personality to him that I mean it, man. He just makes everything better.
I absolutely agree. He really does. He's a joy to be around, to work with, to talk with. It also made me laugh when there was a couple different times he was like, I'm going on a tangent here. I'm like, I've never met a coach that doesn't just end up going on a tangent at some point. I was like, that's just super on brand. So that's perfectly fine. I didn't really have any questions for him per se. Like, you guys covered a lot of stuff. I think the question, just because you were talking to him about bowl games, I think the question I have for you is, what's the matchup that you're looking forward to the most?
Okay, I'm going to give you that. I think what I would have loved to ask him, and I think let's have him on maybe before the end. Maybe we just bring on like him, Ashley, and Nigel, and we do kind of like a little round table with our colleagues at the Pac-12 on the studio side. I wanted to ask him about, like, if you were a coach now, like, what would you be evaluating when you look at taking jobs? Right, Jonathan Smith, of course, evaluated the fall of the Pac-12 into the Pac-2, and that instability led to him exploring another job and then taking one of them that was offered him, which was Michigan State. I think we saw D'Anton Lynn leave a UCLA defense that he completely flipped for what Chip Kelly said. Like, I think his quote was, "We tried, but we weren't in the ballpark financially." So, like, you're seeing coordinators make reportedly not $1 million, like $2 million now in major college football. Like, I wonder how because he was the hottest guy. I mean, there's a world, like, we could have got into the whole Oregon thing. Like, he was there for Rich Brooks, Mike Bellotti, Chip Kelly. He interviews for the head job, and Mark Helfrich ends up getting it. He sticks around for a little bit and then eventually retires. Like, there's a whole conversation with him on coaching.
Oh, absolutely.
That would have been fascinating if we weren't in bowl season. So, producer TJ, let's make that happen, okay?
Yeah, no, there's a lot left there. You're absolutely right. I mean, his knowledge is ridiculous, and like the accolades and stuff he's done is impressive in its own right. And hearing that whole side of it, like you said, not in bowl season, but hearing that side, and I was thinking the same thing before the interview, actually, of just like, did it ever like irk him that he never really, I don't know what kind of shot he got to be the head coach, and he always just stayed the DC, or was he happy with being the DC, or what? So hearing all that would be super interesting for sure.
Yeah, I'd imagine it did irk him. It would irk me. But the thing with Coach Al is, like, he really, like, his parents, as he referenced, did such a great job with him. Like, he's always about, like, being his best, doing his best, and treating people like he wanted to be treated, even if it was in an environment that maybe he didn't feel great about, right? Like, he wasn't the head coach. And he's really just a brilliant example of someone living with integrity. When it comes to answering your question on the matchup, it's a hard question. I'm intrigued with SC. I'll watch every snap. It was fun going to the Gronk Bowl, the LA Bowl, watching UCLA a couple days ago or a week ago or so. And I can't wait to, of course, get to New Orleans. I mean, let's be honest. I'm going to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl. I'll be there for New Year's Eve with Ashley Adamson and Jim Thornby and company. I mean, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Sark is there. So many people we have crossed paths with when we were together at SC or he was at Washington. Like, it's going to be like a hug fest all pregame. And I think the game is awesome. And I truly believe UW has all the consistent tools to win the national title. Like the peak of Bama, you could argue like was the best peak of anybody. You could argue the peak of Texas on the road at Bama was the best peak of anybody. You could argue Michigan hasn't played anybody, but they've rolled everybody. But the only team that's been tested consistently and has met the moment is UW. And I don't know if any of these teams can cover these guys for a whole game. Fair. So I'll go with that because, of course, why wouldn't a team win the Natty in the final year as we know it?
We've been saying it all year.
And it'd be one of the teams that was kind of holding the Pac-10 together until it didn't. Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of what Kalen DeVore stands for. So I'll probably go there. But there's honestly intrigue in all of them, which is hard to say when you look at the past years and with all the opt-outs and the coaching changes. But like Oregon State, Notre Dame, I'm kind of pumped. You called Notre Dame's last game. Didn't call one Oregon State game all season. I mean, I've called like every Oregon State game for 12 years until the year they're finally really, really, really good. We don't get one. So, I'll be watching them all. I know you will be as well. I guess before I let you go, man, you're 29, right? Or did you turn 30?
29 still. I'll be 30 coming up here in a couple weeks.
Okay, 29, New Year's Eve, Hollywood, California. In my best impersonation of our main man on Fox, Gus Johnson. What's on tap, my man?
I appreciate the confidence of you thinking that I know what I'm doing for New Year's Eve before like a day before New Year's Eve, but I have no. Here's the blessing and the curse of being down here is that there's an unlimited amount of stuff to do, so you kind of like can sit back a little bit and wait to figure it out. Still figuring out, but New Year's Eve is one of my favorite holidays for a lot of different reasons. I love the wrapping up of the year, starting fresh, being with people who just kind of like celebrating the year and also just having a good time. So I'll be getting into something
so
fun.
PC. Oh my, it's gross. You're so PC. I was 29 once too. I remember where I was for my 29th New Year's Eve.
I hope my 29th New Year's Eve is just as memorable as that one. That's what every year I look forward to it. And every year, sometimes they let me down, sometimes they don't. I've had some good stories I can tell you offline, but
there it is.
Oh no, we'll see where we go this year.
Okay. Well, if you're out in Hollywood and you see TJ, send a screen grab. Let us know. Give him some props on his organization because he does have to plan this show much more diligently than he plans his New Year's Eve plans. But that's okay, TJ. That's why you are the man that you are. We'll be back in 2024. Oh my gosh, we'll be talking about our words of the year. Yep. We are going to go some really fun places in the new year with our guests. We're going to be talking to people all across the landscape of major college football, sport, inspiration. We're going to pour into you in the final 15 or 20 episodes or whatever it is we have in season 3. TJ, hope you had a great Christmas. I know you're going to have a great New Year's, and I look forward to talking to you when I talk to you and hear all about your time. We'll leave it at that, folks. Happy New Year. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive, and love on the people who love on you, and share some love to those that maybe need it. All right. Peace.